It's very fitting
pretty
for
basic.
a
So-
robot in a skin suit.
Yes.
He is a giant robot, a lumbering robot. So let's check out some of them. He has 4-3-2. This is a pretty good range, fairly quick, low pop-up, where...
Now this is with the first variation.
This is all of his normal attacks don't change at all in variations.
Okay.
So this is like a low attack. It's
So a stomp into a bop.
a stomp into a bop.
Stop into a bop.
And you get a pop-up, and it's actually pretty safe on the block.
Cool.
The downside is it's super easy to interrupt. In between it, the opponent can just like jab you through it.
Sure.
But he has 4-3-4, where he does his knee, and that'll hit you out of it. if
That's a
you
pretty
try it.
fast attack, too.
Right, so
So
he
it's-
doesn't get the pop-up, but it's very quick.
Right.
We're kind of looking. It's a similar sort of mind game to Shang Tsung in a way.
Yes, the forward 2 thing.
Yes.
This also has a crushing blow if the first hit doesn't connect. And he actually gets a pop-up.
Right, because he's advancing anyway, right?
Yes,
So, I mean, it makes sense.
exactly. So, to complement that, he has a pretty good overhead. It's forward 2. He does not get a combo off this normally, which we'll get into with some variations. He gets this throw. And this is actually a true throw. Like, if they block this, if they don't let go of block and like duck it, they'll actually get thrown. So you can see
So
he's
it is-
not getting a lot of damage.
It is a 1+3.
Yes.
But it works like a throw. Not some of the ones like that don't work that way.
Right, it does work like it is actually a throw.
Yes.
And another trick I do is sometimes like I'll get up, they're getting off the ground and like I'll whiff it. Like they delay wake up and they'll wake up into the throw. It's really fun.
That's really cool.
That's always a fun, happy accident.
He seems to kind of control space in an interesting way.
I think he does up close, but mid range
Yeah.
I think he gets out footsied.
Okay.
He also has 1-2-1, which is just kind of like it's like high, mid. It's like your jabs, and this usually I'll go into different special moves, which I'm going to show. And then I think he has a really neat sweep. He uses his gun. It has really good range. It's actually one of his best range attacks, and it's pretty fast. And then he has a really cool uppercut where he just blasts you
Blast you
with
in
a
the
shotgun.
face.
So you're sitting there,
You
and they
blast
jump
it.
in, and he literally shoots you with a shotgun. That's robot efficiency. He
Yep.
calculates the most efficient way to take care of someone jumping.
At all times.
Right. And let's go into his throws, because they're just cool looking.
Nice.
So you can see he uses that electrical grenade from the future. It's like a lightning, like plasma grenade. He uses it in a lot of
ion grenade?
The ion grenade, correct.
Yep.
So one thing I wanted to talk about was his hop attack, because he has something unique.
Oh, this is really interesting. We've
Yeah.
never done this.
He actually has a crushing blow off of it,
Oh, that's cool.
and it'll pop you up. And that's for punishing or countering a low poke. So if you guess that they're going to do like a jab, you hop attack it, you actually get a pop-up once per game, which is pretty unique. No one else has that so far.
Cool.
And then lastly, the normal I want to show is his back 3. It's this string. It's one of his faster mids, but the range is like pretty close. So up close, it's one of his best normals. It's like mainly the main one I use. But you have to be up close to use it, and it's safe. It knocks back, and you have to, or you can go into like mix-ups with special moves. Sometimes I'll cut it short and just go for a throw. It depends on what you want to do, but it's pretty quick and it's a mid, so it's definitely one of his best, like your like point-blank moves.
Gotcha.
So let's go into his special moves, and these are the universal ones so far.
Okay.
To start, this is really his main zoning tool, and it's a shotgun blast. It's a high. It's pretty slow, but one neat thing is it does more damage if he's closer.
Because
It's a shotgun.
Yeah. And then the amplification is just sweet.
there's a lot of really neat things about this shotgun, how it works.
Yeah, it's a very cool move.
like the distance thing, and then the fact like what you're going to show here is how you can like,
You can either go forward or back.
and you can
depending-
meter burn it. You can amplify it twice.
Yes.
So you can go forward, 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 back, forward,
I was
back,
gonna say,
back,
can
back.
you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back?
2 steps forward, 1 step back. Yep, sure can.
Or, look, you're zoning, and then you're in.
Ooh.
You're like, oh my god, I want to get away. No, I don't. And it's very fun to do.
Yeah.
And they all are like a natural combo, so if the first hits, they're all going to hit.
Sure.
And this has a crushing blow for if it whiffs twice, the next one will crushing blow.
Locked and loaded.
Right, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll kind of use this move like in the mid-range. They'll duck it. In my head, I know they've ducked it twice, and then I'll do like a combo and hit confirm into it. And it also has a really fun brutality, which is one of those fun ones where it just happens so quick. You're like,
Yeah.
you're playing, they have one hit left, and then oh, their torso's gone.
Yep.
It's
those are
super
great.
fun. So another special move he has is a Projectile Absorb, where he just turns his back and no sells, just like the movies. It's super fun.
Like
And
a
this-
robot.
Right, you can actually hold this. And you can hold it for like 100 years if you want, I think. That's not accurate, but about 2 seconds.
And is he taking damage during
He
that?
does not, no.
Wow,
He
all right.
totally no sells it. He's a badass. He,
Can you hold through 2?
Yes, you actually can. He could absorb both of Kano's knives. So a lot of the projectile reflex don't work that way,
Right.
and his is unique. So it's not going to bring it back
Well, he's
to
from the
them.
future.
Right,
Right.
but he can really no sell. And I think that's what a robot would do.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, he's a cyborg, not a robot.
True.
Cybernetic organism, because it's living tissue.
Right. Let's get it correct.
And lastly, he has a command grab. He does this Jim Hellwig Gorilla Press Slam. And if you amplify it, he'll toss him hella far and get about 50 more damage.
Get out of here.
Interesting thing is, if you hold down, there's an alt to the amplify where he double bops you in the head and he gets Hema frame advantage.
Okay.
They are staggered for like a long time and you get a mix up.
So there's the choices you have to make. Like, do you want to get them away for the damage, maybe in off the
Exactly.
round, or do you want to get a restand?
Right.
Exactly. And what I showed earlier with his overhead and low mix-ups, it's a very, very good restand in my opinion.
Sure.
I often choose to cut my combo short to get the restand. Like,
You get the double bop.
and then the opponent has to guess. And it's like a three-way between throw, overhead, low. I think it's very, very effective.
Well, I think it's cool that he gets a command grab in all 3 variations.
Yes.
But they change, and we'll talk about that later.
will talk
Hey,
about that.
hey, all right,
Get
spoilers.
a little early on it.
And lastly, let's go into his Fatal Blow. The N2 is a pretty quick attack with really good range.
Is that a
That's a mid.
mid?
Get over here.
Now, for me, the way that I personally use it the most is normally his overhead, he does not get big combos. He usually just gets the throw or he has to special cancel into a special move and he gets like a knockdown. But this will combo. So the way that I play him, once he's at 30%, I have a low that pops you up and an overhead that will good chance is going to end the round because, you know, they've probably taken some damage.
Right.
So I think it makes him really, really deadly. Like, one of my favorite things is I'm losing and I'm down by like half life and I get like a jump in, do a full combo into a restand, then guess right on the 50-50 into Fatal Blow. And I know that, like, Ducky's really, really emo. That's like maybe my favorite thing about playing him.
That's awesome.
All right, so that is his base loadout. You can see it's pretty basic. He is not flashy. He pretty much just gets in and brawls. And then I think the differences and the uniqueness comes in his variations. So
He also does, though, have, like, some kind of like flashy, like, air grab stuff and, like...
oh yeah, visually I think his two-player animations, like his throws, are awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go into loadout number 1. This is the
Cool.
one that I use. It is a 50-50 variation. So the first thing he has is this overhead bop. And you can do it close, medium, or far. Is overhead, and you amplify it, it looks awesome and does a lot of damage. This you can use from like full screen, like you duck a knife and then you go in, or you can use it off all your attacks.
Double
like,
overhead there, yeah.
Exactly, like overhead, you can use it. A lot of times I'll do this string on block and go into it. It's pretty fast, it's relatively safe. I think it's just a really, really good overhead. And then to complement it, he has this ground pound, where he actually takes one of the ion grenades, slams it onto the ground, and it's about a half screen low, and the amplified actually travels across the ground. It's full screen. Now, unlike the overhead, this is actually super easy to punish. You are going to get messed up if they block it.
Right.
But they're going to have to guess. Like, a lot of times I'll do like this string into it, or I'll do this string into it, or you can do overhead low and to complement overhead. So it's like, it's more than a 50.
Right. course, you can mix that in back into the lunge, too. So you can just be
Exactly.
alternating the lunge along with the ground pounds.
And one option is going to be relatively safe, and one option is going to be death on block. So
Sure.
And it's one of those things too, like people like to hear 50-50, be like, oh no, but like not getting a ton of damage off those.
Right.
You are chipping away at them by doing
Yeah,
that.
it's going to be very irritating for the opponent, but not super, super deadly. Until, again, you add in the restand,
Yep.
you add in his fatal blow. He has awesome combat factor.
A ton of options he can use in those
Yes.
respects. Awesome.
And then lastly, he has an anti-air grab where he slams. I love the power, just throw you across.
Just roll you across the floor.
Yeah, and if he amplifies it, he slams you down, and he gets a big combo. And this is why I like this variation a lot. The combos are super fun to do. So, like, a lot of times...
Now, you
I'll
could have
land-
you can restand too, yeah?
Exactly. That's exactly what I do. Then I'll restand, and you've already done pretty good damage, and then you go in. So, like, an easy scenario would be...
It's just a machine.
Yeah, and that is big combat factor.
That's
so
awesome.
while he kind of gets out footsied in the mid-range, it's not really where he's comfortable.
Yeah, it's
If he-
basically
you know.
60% 2 bars right there.
Yeah, so I land a jump in, and they're in serious jeopardy. And then if I have my fatal blow, like, he could easily do, like, 60% of your life. It's
Sure.
super fun.
Cool.
So that's loadout 1.
Okay.
Loadout 2 is the grappling loadout, because you have to have that.
I'm super into this one.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we'll see some of our pro players gravitate, our grappling players, like our biohazards.
I
and
could
stuff.
definitely see, like, Tyrant, Biohazard,
Dab.
Gur, Terminator. I could see Gur playing any of these variations. I'm also super into the costume.
Oh yeah.
So the first thing here is he has
I
running
love
man
it.
stance. He starts running, and he can cancel it. It does take a bar. And then he has 3 moves from it. He has a big boot. This is kind of just your safe mid. Then he has uppercut. That's a high. And that actually does not pop up mid-screen. But in the corner, he can. And then lastly, he has tackle. And this is a true throw. It counts as a throw. It's basically, you can think of it as a long-range running command grab. And from there, you can amplify it, look around, make sure no one's watching.
Because he's worried about that,
Yeah.
mind you.
Well, I think he's looking for other people to kill.
Well,
Yeah.
you're right.
Now, this has a crushing blow from doing the tackle. Oops.
And if
Safe.
sometimes he trips.
Yeah.
There's a 4% chance he'll trip.
From doing it at long range, you get a crushing blow.
I've watched a lot of Terminator, and I've never seen him fall down like that, and it's
Yeah,
really cool looking.
when you're making a guest character, as a fighting game character, they have to fail.
Yeah.
Naturally, you
Yeah.
have to be able to make mistakes. So we get fun stuff like that.
That was awesome.
Then he has the "I'll be back" breaker,
Ugh.
which replaces his command grab. The
But
cool
but
thing-
is a command grab.
Yes, it's a different command grab.
Right.
So the interesting thing about this is he can control where he throws you in both regular and amplified. So normally he throws you behind him.
By default.
But if you hold forward, he'll throw them forward. And that applies to the amplified as well. And this has a crushing blow.
This is this reminds me very much of Jackie's in a way, like
Yes.
where you have like this is. I think it's really fun to do.
Yeah, you have to do the other 3 versions. So now I have it loaded.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oops, I dropped the combo. But yeah, if you have it loaded, you've done it 3 times, and I think it's one of his main combo enders, so it's definitely doable. You get a command grab that does pretty good damage and then pops up for a combo. So
Awesome.
again, hella comeback factor. And lastly, he has an air grab. Bear hugs you, throws you away like garbage.
He has no emotions.
And this can be amplified to get another restand.
So he's just restanding you all over
Yes.
the place.
So that was the difference. The 1 and 2 are the same archetype, offensive character, but different sub archetypes. So You have a simple 50-50 character. You just do a block string, do a 50-50. They got to guess. High risk, medium reward. It doesn't get any simpler than that. But then 2, you have to get in. But when you do, it's all about command grabs. Load the crushing blow, restand.
Sure.
And then variation 3, you want to go into that.
Sure.
So this is probably the one that's going to appeal to people that like to play further or people that like setups.
Sure. So distance players or trap players.
Yes.
Any ticks off the commands?
Yes, a lot. His down poke.
And let's take a
4-3.
minute to recognize the robot arm, because
It's
that's just awesome.
And you can't really see because of the way his head is, but if you look the other way, the side of his head's all messed up too.
Jump over him.
I was going to say jump over.
Very, very cool.
Boom.
Yeah, look at that.
That's so cool.
All right, so this one has 2 moves. The first is a sticky grenade. He throws it. Now, this is unblockable, but it does barely any damage. But
what it does do is...
They can't use their meter. They cannot do amplified moves. They cannot break away. They cannot roll escape. Any use of their move, they can't do while that aura is on.
How long does it last?
Forever.
Good
The
amount.
rest of the match.
Oh, shit. Whoops. So that's really good for setups, too.
Yeah,
right?
and it's unblockable, so you are going to hit that.
Like, if you hit them, knock them down, you know right now they're not rolling back.
Exactly. Then he has a low ion grenade. He rolls it across the ground. He can choose close, medium, or far. It goes up just a second, and then it'll blow up and blow them up. Or he can amplify it, and it immediately explodes.
Mm-hmm. And so it's an immediate pop-up.
Exactly, and that leads to this, which is definitely his best overhead option.
Yep. There you go.
So you
can
do have to commit to it, but it's very good.
You can literally, like, throw the thing at them, then throw the low grenade at them. They're not breaking away from it. You know that.
Exactly.
So, and that's the thing, too, about breakaways. A lot of times, sometimes I'll just do an uppercut because I'm expecting a breakaway. This, you know you're going to get the combo regardless if they have meter.
If you knock them down, if you have this on, you hit a sweep, they are not going to roll away, and they're not going to do a wake-up attack. So you can go for throw, or overhead, or low.
Right.
It's pretty awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And that is Terminator. I think he is super fun to play. He's exactly what I want in a character.
And you can connect that grenade on pretty much anything. The
Yeah.
incapacitator or whatnot.
Can you end combos in it and stuff?
You could, yeah, I do that sometimes.
Okay.